welcome to the Relish Lifestyle Podcast. We've just got in from a rather, slightly chilly walk, wasn't it?
Well, it really has turned quite cool now. But I guess we are only around the corner from November.
We're huddling around our cups of tea.
I know, it's sort of all lovely and sunny. But it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this time of year, isn't it?
The colours.
Yeah, I think we said this the other day, but, you know, the leaves, the trees, you're walking through, we were doing some woodland paths, so they're kicking the leaves. It's just lovely.
I think we're very lucky where we live. We do obviously have the sea. We have the South Downs, which is just, a smorgasbord of forest, downs.
Oh, I know.
Rivers, lakes.
Absolutely.
We're very lucky. But yeah, so we've just got in from a rather chilly walk, but we're warming up. And it's just... we've had quite a lot going on, but we've got our actual tasting.
So we're going to do a tasting, Charlie. You can see what I've got in front of us today. So actually, for everyone, on the 21st of October, it was World Apple Day.
Oh, right.
And, like
that
we all know. That really well-named day. Yeah, exactly.
Put it in your diaries for next year.
Anyway, I thought because obviously this time of year, and particularly this year, which we talked about in our last podcast, there's been such an abundance of fruit that I thought it would be great to do an apple tasting.
Okay.
But what I have done is we are very lucky to have a place near us called Westdean. It's actually a horticultural college, but it also has the most magnificent gardens and growing gardens as well, vegetables, fruit and flowers, as well as a beautiful parkland, doesn't it, Charlie?
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning.
But they have the most incredible array of, mini orchards, really.
Yeah.
Fruit trees.
They've got pears.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, they grow everything from apricots and...
nectarines in the glass.
Oh, it's just phenomenal. Anyway.
So
they sell off the harvest from all their different trees. So I've just picked a few. You can see they're all different shapes and sizes. So some of these you're going to have heard of and some of them you won't have heard
certainly.
of. But what I would say is different. There's a couple here that you will recognise. But they're not normally grown. These are grown wild. Can I say that? Wild? Yeah. They're just free growing. Whereas normally you might be able to buy them in the supermarket, but of course they're
mass produced.
They're cultivated in big,
and grown all over
nurseries and stuff. Yeah. But the ones we're actually tasting today are
British apples.
Yeah. And and some of them are from the area of Sussex.
Right. So
the first one, well, you're going to try that one.
I don't know. Do you want to read it out?
Yeah. I think this is called Dumelows. It's Dumelows. It's called Dumelows. What's it called? Seedling. Well, we've got notes here, by the way. So if you hear us rustling.
So it's a cooking apple.
Yeah.
Right.
But they say it's sort of creamier in texture than a Bramley. You're going to hear us crunching on apples now. Oh, no.
It's lovely.
Sharp.
Very sharp. Quite a thick skin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure creamy is the word, though.
Well, they say when it's cooked, I think.
Oh, I see.
In all fairness, we don't have a Bramley here to...
No, it's certainly quite sharp. But it's it's got a lovely kind of slightly mottled, I guess, like outer. Slightly bits of it is huge red, and then you've got the very kind of pale, light green. Yellowy. But interesting. Quite small, though, for a cooking apple.
Yeah, well, they do come in various sizes. So can I say, they literally just sell these in big boxes, and you take a bag.
No, I know, but if that's kind of a,
Yeah, I think they do vary. But just a bit of history on this one, then. So you're right, pale green to yellow. This was reported in the late 1700s by a Richard Dumelow.
Right, hence the name.
Hence the name. And sometimes it was called a Wellington. But they do say it's really quite nice as to cook it, baking apple, or in mincemeat, of course.
Oh, of course. Well, we're getting that time of year.
But can I just say one other thing? I've got to say this one because this is quite a good fact. It was said to be Queen Victoria's favourite apple.
Because she was so sour.
No, and was used as a May Day apple in the north because it stored very well.
Okay, well, I'm cutting on.
Okay, which one have you got now?
So I've got a nice, good name. I've got a knobby.
Oh, a knobby russet.
Which we've peeled because you said we had to peel this one.
Yes, because apparently, right, this is a question, Charlie. What is russeting?
Don't know.
So this is called a knobby russet.
Ooh.
and you can see the skin is slightly, gnarly and knobbly. So that basically, russeting on an apple refers to a rough, brownish, corky skin that can appear naturally on certain varieties.
Yeah,
it can also appear because it's been injured or the weather or whatever. Anyway, we're going to taste this one.
I'm going to try a bit with the skin as well. I feel like I should. I like that. Nice flavour.
That's really nice. It says it's a dessert apple, lemony and rather dry, but there's a sweetness to that, isn't there?
I think there is a sweetness.
This was reported in about 1820, a bit later. And
it's a long time, 1700s. I mean, I suppose
trees.
They were just growing everywhere. So
I think
it wasn't like you didn't have orchards as such. They just thought it was a tree, and
I think what happened in some instances. I think there's one here that we read about, but I think what happened was you had certain apples. People picked the fruit, then they kind of got mixed together, and then you got a different type of apple until you got people that were actually specialising in fruit. Did they actually start reporting on the different varieties?
Well, no, I actually I actually don't mind the rusting, and I've just eaten a bit of the skin, and I wouldn't say it certainly wasn't unpleasant.
Well, can I just say another thing, Charlie? Apparently, rusting is a common feature of apples grown in Sussex.
Oh, there you go. Must be the air.
So the knobby russet.
Must be the water. Something in the water.
I couldn't resist that.
No, right. So this one I've cut. This is a much bigger apple. No green. It's yellow and red. There's no green to that, really.
Now this is the Merida, Mareda, and I'm sorry, because it's...
You said there was a couple of...
different spellings. Well, one has got, I would say Merida, because it's got EIDA, and one is just Merda, or Merda, I don't know, just without the I.
Oh, that's a nice apple, then. I like that.
So this is, I think, dessert.
Yeah.
This comes from a hybrid from the American apple, the wine sap, actually.
Right.
And
I like that.
It's a much bigger apple, isn't it?
But it's...
It says distinctive should be sweet, winey, or a sweet melon taste with a firm flesh. What do we think?
Definitely firm. I like it. I get the slightly wine element to it. There's a nice flavour. I would say that's quite creamy. In terms of mouthfeel.
And it does have its sort of orangey red, isn't it?
That's what I said, yeah. It's got it's yellow and red. It's not, we haven't already got any green on this at all. But I like that. It cuts nice as well. They all have, to be fair. But I have to be honest, I don't like a mushy apple.
No, I don't either.
I like a crisp apple.
Charlie, it even got a wormhole.
It's even got wormholes. Real. Probably eaten that. Extra protein. I'm joking. Extra protein.
Yeah.
But it's quite fine. It's fine. Nothing bad with it.
You can't have an apple without work. Oh, there we are.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lovely apple. I think it's
really nice.
Really nice. I mean, that for me, that would, if we could get that in the shops, I'd buy that.
Oh yeah.
Because I have an apple a day. I should say that. I always have an apple.
Yeah, you're very good. I find sometimes if I eat an apple on an empty stomach, it actually makes my stomach really go bonkers.
I'm the same with bananas.
And actually, it makes me feel hungrier.
No, I find mine's bananas. It makes me, it sort of sits in my gullet.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to say, just as a reminder, because I know we talked about this, I think, quite...
keep eating that.
Yeah, well, go for it. A few podcasts ago, that there are about 2,500 varieties that can be grown in the UK, over 7,500 worldwide, but only a fraction, of course, are commercial.
We don't see those.
No.
Right, so I've got another. This is a much larger apple again. Actually, not dissimilar to the one we've just had. This is the Wadhurst Pippin. And that again has got this sort of red into yellow hue.
It says yellow tinged green and fluffed brownish red. Streaked crimson. Oh, yeah, it does though. It's sort of streaky, isn't it?
Similar.
In size and in colour a bit to the Merida.
For actually, not just similar flavour. Similar crunch. I say that slightly more sour. Nice though.
I think that has got a distinctive flavour.
I say that's slightly more florally.
Yeah, maybe you're right. That's what it is.
Slightly elderflowery, actually.
More sharp.
Yeah, but it's definitely got...
clear, actually, Charlie. Look. This fruit has a savoury, spicy taste with quite a sharp, hard flesh.
Yeah, the flesh is quite hard, but I wouldn't say... I'm not getting a huge amount of spice.
It's very different to that one. Now, how extraordinary is that? I love that. Now,
that's a nice apple too.
Yeah. So the Wadhurst pippin actually does come from Wadhurst in Sussex.
Yeah.
It's quite large and varies in shape, rectangular to conical. Is there anything else I should tell you about this one? No, it's a vigorous plant though. And can be stored until February.
Wow. That's probably because it's got a thick skin as well.
Well, all these with a thicker skin.
That's what I mean.
But how amazing is that about apples?
Yeah.
I think that is the thing about the storage of them.
Well, it's a bit like sweet potatoes. So most of them are grown in North Carolina.
Right.
And 80% of the world, I think, comes from there. And they're just stored. They're not all harvested throughout the year. So the ones you're buying now would have been grown and harvested and then stored.
Yeah. Funny, I'm not a great sweet potato fan.
No. Well, I was going to talk about that in our next sort of section.
Yeah,
but so this
Let's get on with the apples.
Yeah, I'll digress. This is a Royal Gala, which obviously is a popular variety here.
But again, this one has been grown in the wild in Westdean.
It's lovely. It's sweeter, but the flesh itself is much softer. So I have to say it's not my favourite.
See, I don't normally eat Gala apples.
No, I don't for that reason. I would say, funny enough, to me, squidgy.
But
different flavour again.
Do you know what, though? Absolutely different flavour and a different texture. And look at look how yellow that flesh is.
And these are other ones we should point out are quite
white when you cut into them.
All of this one's incredibly white.
Oh, yeah, the knobby russet.
Knobby and the...
And you know why?
Very white.
Because they are cooking apples primarily.
But I would eat,
So the Royal Gala, as we know, is available commercially.
That's popular, isn't it?
But it originally came from the 1930s.
Oh, so quite late.
New Zealand. And it's kind of done... had different iterations.
Right.
But do you know what? It got the royal bit. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to say this.
Queen.
So in 1969, the Queen went to New Zealand.
Right.
And she really enjoyed this apple. So it was renamed the Royal Gala.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was 1969. And then it's kind of gone on to be quite a commercial apple.
Royal Gala apples are pretty much the top seller in Britain. I had a look.
Are they?
Followed by Braeburns. So interesting. So I've cut the last one, which is obviously very different because the skin is completely green.
So it's a good old golden of Granny Smith. But again,
which has definitely got that zing. When you bite into it, it's much zestier in terms of pungent.
What I would say as well, to me,
quite a thick skin.
I don't know about you, but I think these apples are much more flavoursome than the ones you buy.
Oh, 100%. Because I used to like a Granny Smith, but I would say probably in the last few years.
Don't taste of anything, do they?
No. And I find the skin can be incredibly thick and not really nice.
Now, the thing about a Granny Smith is they're not normally known to grow that well in this country.
No, I was going to
because
say.
they do need a warmer climate.
Well,
and that's why.
Definitely, when I've been to France and Portugal and places, Granny Smiths you do see.
And Golden Delicious, I think.
Yeah. Well, they like got smushy.
So it does say it needs a warm climate to ripen. It says this originates from Australia in the 1860s. And again, this was a chance thing by a fruit grower who emigrated. But she basically discarded a French crab apple core. And it mixed with another, and then it kind of did a hybrid. And good old Granny Smith came out of that because her name was Maria Ann Smith.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it came from that. Well, I think they were all very different in their own ways. And it's amazing, I think, how many different varieties there are. Like you said, 7,500 across the world. Which
did you know? Yeah, and I was going to say, sorry, I know I've interrupted you there. But also the Granny Smith, it's absolutely grown worldwide. And they give this the standard for tartness and crispness.
Oh, okay.
The old Granny Smith.
Interesting.
So sorry, Charlie, I interrupted you.
Right. No, I was just going to try and round it up really.
Yeah,
so they're all quite different. Obviously, you've got a couple of cooking apples in a much whiter flesh. But yeah, I mean, I would think for me, it's terrible to rank in a way because they're all, it's very subjective, I think, an apple. But I would say the Wadhurst pippin, I think, I'm just double checking. I think the Tarte Tatin was probably my favourite. I love it. I think it's got a lovely flavour.
I might have to go back and see if they've got any left.
It's definitely elderflowery to me. It's got that slightly floral but sweet tone.
And I just wanted to say this as well. It's just extraordinary because you could walk around Westin, literally pick them off the ground, and they give you a bag and you just fill the bag. And you have either a very large carrier bag, paper bag, that they charge £5, or you can have a smaller bag and they charge £3. And bearing in mind, you can normally buy 2 apples for like £3 these days.
Well, I
just thought it was fantastic.
I have to say, I do buy Pink Ladies, which obviously are cultivated and a brand. But then getting on for nearly £3 for 6 of them.
But you know, when you and I went to Westin about 4 weeks ago, and they literally they must have had a dozen, didn't they, or more boxes. So big wooden boxes full of different apples and some pears, but mainly apples. And when I went back the other day, that had been reduced. So they do sell them. So people go in
and use them. And we should point out that Westin actually grow and they use what?
Oh yeah, everything's used
in the kitchens and things. Right, I've got some facts for you now. You've done your history work. We've got some for you. So what was the heaviest apple ever so far? I can have it in kilos, or I can go old school for you.
5 kilos.
No, it's 1.8 kilos, but £4 and 1 ounce. That was actually grown in Japan in 2005. The next one, before that held the record, was called the Howgate Wonder.
Right.
In Kent, and it was 1.7 kilos.
Whoa.
And £3 11 ounces in Old.
Does it tell you what variety they were?
I think that was a Howgate Wonder.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know the variety of the Japanese one.
Sorry. Yes, you did say that.
But yeah, I mean, it's just incredible to think that you can get them that big. I mean, yeah.
All right, then. I've got one last question for you about apples. So what is an expert in apples called?
Yeah, I don't know what that is for apple. I'm not sure. Pomology or something.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
A pomologist.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, well done. Well worked out.
My first year Latin term paid off.
And I couldn't, sorry, I still on apples a bit. Now, I know you're a great Agatha Christie fan.
Yeah.
So what is the book that starts? They're apple bobbing, aren't they?
Actually, it's quite interesting because it's quite timely as well, because it's called The Halloween Party.
Oh, that's right.
But it's still, the copy I've got is still spelt the British way, so you have an apostrophe in between the 2 E's, so Halloween.
Oh.
It's not all one word.
Oh, we like that.
Weekend used to have be hyphenated. So I love that. That's obviously, well, this was
so cool.
That was the name of it. Halloween. You didn't say Halloween. Halloween. But yeah, so they do apple bobbing. Yeah. And obviously that is there's no spoilers, but that's sort of how possibly
we have done apple bobbing, haven't we, when you were little?
But I never really got it.
I find it really difficult because basically you just get a face full of water. It's really hard.
Yeah. Or you push someone in it. It's what happens in the Agatha Christie.
Can you imagine trying to pick one of those apples up now?
Well, that's sort of the point. It's hard. If it was easy, it would be much of a game.
Did they get murdered in the...
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, does she drown?
Yeah. So don't do apple, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous, and you need about 500 metres of tarpaulin to get the water, otherwise it goes everywhere. But actually what's interesting in that, well, I say it's interesting to me in the book, is the one that has Ariandre Oliver, who's a authoress as one of the characters in Halloween Party, and her favourite fruit is an apple. And Poirot always says every time he sees her, she's got a huge bag of apples in her handbag, and they were sort of falling out of the car and all that. So, and then she says, obviously now with this mystery, someone dying, she said, I don't think I can ever face another apple. So apples, bless them. But
so what do we do with all these apples? What's your apple recipe?
We have well, you say it, and everyone I've cooked it for says it's sort of my signature one, but it's the Tarte Tatin.
You do make a mean Tarte Tatin, I have to say.
So I'm sure most people listening are aware it's sort of an upside down tart. So you sort of cook, you've got the sugar and the butter that you melt, then you have your sort of halved and cored apples. Again, I would say you definitely need an apple of quite a substance flesh. You don't want a mushy apple. You want one that's going to hold shape.
And you don't want too big either.
No. And then you kind of put them all together in the bottom of your frying pan, and you need a frying pan that can go in the oven, and then it's literally, sort of sweet short crust pastry I use that goes to cook the apples.
Which a lot of people don't, do they?
Then the short crust, and then you put that in the oven, and then you sort of turn it out, so it's sort of upside down. But no, a lot of people use puff.
Yeah, I know.
Pastry, which I have had, and I personally don't think it's a nicer eat, but
I love the way you do it, because the short crust pastry, I have to say, is short.
Yeah.
It's not thick. It's not like eating a flan or anything.
But I think for me...
And you tuck it in, don't you?
Yeah, but also for me, what the puff element is actually then it only happens to the very outer edge. So there's no point having puff pastry.
That's true.
Because it then sits on it.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So actually what you want is a crisp, short base for me.
Oh, and it's so when you do it
it's
like
a good
that. I mean, just
all year round.
Well, I was going to say one of the ones. Sometimes when you've done it, and if I've bought the apples, quite often the apple I'd go for is a Cox's apple.
Yeah.
I do like Cox's apple because they're not too big, and I would say they probably taste a little bit more like between the Wadhurst or the Merida. They're small, but they're crunchy. They've got a good bit of flavour.
That's what I mean. You need something that's going to hold its shape.
Yeah.
Because obviously the nice bit is when you turn it out, it all looks quite pretty.
I saw someone the other day doing I know you can do various Tarte Tatins, but an onion one.
Nice.
I've seen recipes for tomato, but I think it would be too runny.
You'd have to have quite again, not my thing at all.
No, you don't like tomatoes.
You'd have to have an unripe tomato to hold its shape, otherwise it would just go mushy.
Yeah, I think it's got to be
tomato sauce.
I did see one that had a leek and
nice
onion, and I thought that would be really nice.
Someone
trying like that.
I saw a shallot one.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, good effort to peel
all those shallots.
Yeah, even the banana shallots, which I do quite like.
Yeah, they are nice.
But there's a lot of peeling to do.
Some of the banana ones are quite big. So actually, if you peeled those and halved them, you probably get
But you just need, like anything with shallot, you need a lot of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if you add them to, like the coco Riesling.
Yeah.
You've got to do, 12, 14 shallots?
Yeah.
I have to say, sometimes I do cheese and just use a red onion because it saves time.
Actually, you could do a red onion Tarte Tatin.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Doesn't our Delia do a red onion Tarte Tatin?
I think she might do. Anyway, we're not talking about... She does do something else that's got onions in it.
But we were going to talk about...
we were going to say, weren't we, that we know it's coming up to Halloween, but we're not going to do the whole Halloween thing because everyone does that and they all talk about pumpkin. And actually, do you know what? There's not many people I know that actually do eat that much pumpkin, if it's pumpkin pie or pumpkin soup or... Yeah,
I do find, it's a great thing to do, like the carving. But there is an element of me that thinks, it's quite wasteful. If you don't do anything with then after Halloween with your...
But also, quite often, I'm being funny, but this has happened over the years, Charlie, when you were little, but, we do the carving of the Halloween, the pumpkin, sorry, and it's all great fun, and you have them around for ages with the candles in, but then they all go a bit horrible inside anyway, so you're probably not going to eat them.
No, so what I mean is they're grown to sort of go thin, which is a bit sad.
But, they do make, you can get pumpkin stuffed raviolis and all sorts of stuff, so they are a good vegetable.
Well, I think they're good.
I think it's just you get a lot of it, don't you?
Though obviously what's quite nice now is you can get those like the ghost pumpkins and stuff, so I think they're slightly different, and they come sort of slightly smaller varieties. We saw some at Westy.
Oh yeah, we did.
But we were going to say actually this sort of weather, like we've just said, it's sort of definitely cooled down here in terms of temperature, certainly. And we were saying sort of we just feel a bit like we want to hunker down and do roasts and soups. And
yes, because today of recording, we've actually just turned the clocks back. Yeah. So it really is. We are into those
end of British summertime.
So yeah, we did. So we're talking about hunkering down food. So we thought maybe soup.
So do you have a...
Oh, you want to ask? So the soup that always comes to mind...
What's your fave? Or a good one?
A good one, I think, is a good old French onion soup.
Yum.
Because onions are in abundance.
Yeah.
And when you caramelise those, but you've got to really get the flavour out, and you got to be a bit naughty. It is some butter in there.
Yeah. And
really caramelise them off. And it's wine. You've got to cook a bit of wine, and actually, if you're really going for a bit of brandy.
Yeah. And then you have do you do the cheesy
crouton. And it should be Gruyere, but you can use anything, of course. A bit of oil, a bit of toast, and with a bit of cheese on it, and float it, or have it on the side. I mean, because the thing is, if you put it in,
or you could, to be honest, what you could do is you could just sprinkle a bit of cheese on top of the soup, as in
you could do, or a little croutons. Yeah, quite nice,
but yummy. Oh yeah, good one. I like that.
And I think you can put a bit of garlic in there. It's just, and I think an onion soup, you can make it. It's lovely when you make it, but oh my goodness, that will sit in the fridge or covered for quite a few days, and the flavour just continues to, what's the word? Evolve, develop. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank goodness for a thesaurus.
Goodness me.
Right.
What about you?
Good. Yeah, soup's interesting. So, look, going back to our root vegetable thing, actually, I was thinking, last podcast, there's a recipe. I can't actually remember who does it or whether I may have made it up myself.
That's all right. A relish
adding a chorizo.
Recipe.
So it's sort of onion and garlic as the base. Well, not the base, but you start with that. And then you add in sort of your roots. So carrot, like bits of butternut squash. You could have pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
And then you add in a ring of chorizo.
Gives it spice.
Yeah, and colour and all sorts. And then you cook that, you boil it.
Oh, I have had this. You have cooked this.
Yeah, but it's lovely because it's warm, as in the mouth.
Yeah.
And so you sort of feel warm. And you can add like a bit of extra chilli and stuff like that if you want to go. But I was going to touch on one that I've had it in Portugal, and it's called caldo verde, which is is basically greens, using up greens potato. So like when we were in Greece, they just call it like greens.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like leafy greens.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, we're not really sure what it is, like a goat or lamb.
Just thought they picked from bird.
Yes, brilliant Greek. But they have similar stuff, obviously, all over the Mediterranean. And actually, we have greens as well. But it's just basically, I think, probably during times of hardship, sort of during the revolutionary time, in Portugal, they would do this caldo verde, and it was kept sort of just warm in bars with a ladle in it, and you kind of scooped it out yourself, kind of thing. It was kind of like a bar snack, but it was a warm soup with sort of the greens and the potato and I think chicken stock, but you probably use veg stock. I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's obviously garlic and stuff like that in it. And sometimes if they were obviously had the opportunity, they could add, a bit of ham hock or...
I was going to say pork rind.
Yeah.
I mean, Portugal and Spain.
But what's quite interesting is I was looking at this just to check the recipe, obviously, and there's one in Spain, but it's in Galicia, so the northern region of Spain, which obviously does border northern Portugal. And theirs is, again, it's the same word, caldo gallego, Gallego, Gallego. Anyway, and that's like a Galician broth. But that, interestingly, has the chorizo in it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I then was thinking about my soup with the chorizo in it.
Yeah, nice.
So they obviously put, chunks of chorizo in the soup rather than maybe the ham that Portugal does. But but again, it was a similar thing. So you can go into a bar and sometimes they will have this caldo broth just on like a slow simmer and you just help yourself. But I quite like that. It's quite sort of, we're talking about hunkering down.
Yeah.
Quite nice to go to a pub and have a bowl of soup.
Oh, I think that sounds lovely.
Sit by the fire.
I have to say, another one for me is you saying about that with ham in it. I love ham and pea. But to make that, but also, seriously, I mean, obviously, some people's ham and pea is lentils, the pea, hard lentil.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's delicious if you cook that. But I think that, again, for me, it's use a piece of gammon that you've either cooked or bacon. It could be a big piece of bacon. But if you've cooked it, use some of the juice that you've cooked that in.
Yes.
Or if you haven't, fry that off with your other vegetables before you pour the stock in. And you will still get that flavour.
This is what you do with the chorizo, because it comes, obviously, gosh, the spices come out of my head, and a complete paprika and stuff comes out into the rest.
And you saying about pumpkin, Charlie, because I was just going back to that whole pumpkin thing. I think pumpkin is definitely one of those vegetables that does need a spice. It does need something. It's like you can find recipes for cauliflower soup and things like that, but cauliflower, for me, some vegetables when they're whizzed up, sorry, I was going to say pureed.
Yeah.
A soup with bits of cauliflower in it, or bits of carrot, that's different. You'll get different flavours. But when they're whizzed up, sometimes they lose all that.
The other thing we both agree on this is sometimes people add cream to stuff.
Oh yeah, we're not fair.
Creamy. And I don't really know what you're adding.
I think just making it taste like cream.
That's what I mean. I'm not really sure what you're adding. You're not adding like more mushroom flavour.
For me, actually, if you whiz up things like, when I mean whiz up, puree with one of your hand blenders, but any of the vegetables, they become creamy.
Yeah.
And I would say, if anything, it's a bit like if you were making a pasta, maybe put some milk in there or butter, but they will become creamy. One I was going to say is quite often you get this one, and it is one I've made, not recently actually, but it's just made me think I do want to make it. And that is mushroom soup.
Yum. But
I love it.
I was going to say was with mushroom is you can now add, obviously, with like dried porcini and or like shiitake, you can add
you can
more flavour to what I would say would have been our sort of bog standard white mushroom, which you could use as the base, but then it's quite nice to have the other levels of flavour from the other mushrooms.
One of the ways I've done it though is to get a good handful of different mushrooms. This time of year, you can try and get wild mushrooms, but even if you can't, but just really vary it up. Cook the mushrooms, saute them again, butter, tiny bit of garlic, maybe some thyme. And one for me is take some big slithers of lemon rind and fry that off. In the butter first.
Your secret weapon.
My secret weapon. And I wouldn't necessarily put a chili in my mushroom, but that's up to everyone's tastes are different. But for me, and then you cook the mushrooms and then you only add a certain amount of stock. And you can either have that as what I call a clear soup with the whole mushrooms, or if you whiz that up, it will become creamy.
Yeah.
Add a splash more lemon juice, lots of pepper, salt.
You could add like herb, parsley or something.
I was going to say that.
Sorry. I thought you were.
No, I was.
The other thing I was going to say was what I quite
really
like is I've made soups, and then I think actually what's quite nice with a soup is to almost have a couple of things, like we said about the cheese on the French onion, have that almost on the side so you can people can choose it. And one thing I quite like is this sort of, and I know it's not like, it can be quite easy to get, it depends, but that crispy chili oil. So that you've got the actual flakes in.
Oh, yeah.
A teaspoon of that, like drizzled on top of a bowl of soup, can elevate, like you were saying. I'm not saying that you necessarily want that with mushroom, but with other soups, certainly you could add that. And it adds texture because you get little bits of crunch.
Yeah.
But I do have one big confession.
Oh, go on then.
I find it very hard to have soup without homemade bread.
Oh, well, fair enough.
That's one of the things that I do. So if I do make a soup, I then have to make some homemade rolls.
Well, I have to say that is so lovely, isn't it? To have homemade. I mean, the two go together.
Well, that's what I mean.
But you wouldn't go to France to have soup without crusty bread.
No.
Or anywhere.
Le baguette. No, so I have to, that's one of my things. If I've made a soup and that's what I'm going to have sort of for my meal, I love a bit of bread.
If I'm trying to be a bit good, not have too much bread, this is, though I do maybe have a little bit of bread, is to make croutons out of old bread.
Oh, yeah.
And then I might just have a few croutons. So you do get a bit of bread and a bit of crispiness.
Yeah.
But you're not perhaps eating, quarter of a baguette or half a baguette or something.
That's that thing with homemade bread, though. When it's fresh out the oven, it's very hard.
But saying that, Charlie, that does become a whole meal.
Yeah, that's but I would have that for my evening, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole meal then.
For life then.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it?
I know, well, I'm feeling pecker.
Well, we're going to have a roast chicken tonight, aren't we?
Chicken tonight. But what I was going to say about that is actually what's quite good is if we have the roast chicken and flesh the carcass, whatever you want to call it,
debone, yeah.
Is then it's obviously great to use as then the basis to make a stock, which you can then use to make soup.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole, what I was thinking is the whole sort of 360 thing we talked about.
I think this time of year particularly.
We've got time.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say the other thing for me is soups, I think, are just, there's such an abundance. You can make soup out of anything, really. The other thing I think is an easy comfort food to do is risotto.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have to follow. For me, I don't particularly follow. And I think I mentioned one I did a while ago where I just sort of added some leftover vegetables in. But as long as you've got a bit of either just leek, some onion.
Oh, yeah.
If you're really on it, a bit of
cheese.
well, I was going to say a bit of celery.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But it doesn't have to be. If you go in your fridge and you think, oh, what am I going to do with those 2 sticks of celery? Just on a top and tail them and chop them small, chuck them in. And you cook all that off in a bit of butter. Yeah. And then again, and a little bit of oil, I would. Chuck in some rice, and then you stir a little bit of wine or something. You don't have to worry about that. And then it's your stock.
I know.
So it's another way of using the stock or making this wonderful. And again, it sits in the fridge. And then you can top a simple risotto with anything.
Well, you know what's quite nice is if one thing I do quite like is when you roast pumpkins, you cut the pumpkin into sort of like almost like Venetian canal boats.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. And you roast that, and then that's quite nice. Like if you could use that in soup, but you could also do it quite small, the pumpkin, and have little chunks, and that sprinkled on top of a soup is quite nice because it's a textural thing for me. I quite like to.
Yeah, and butternut squash or any of those. But the other thing for me is, again, if you've got some mushrooms, cook those off. For me, I don't want the mushroom in the risotto. Add it on top of the risotto.
Oh, yeah.
And again, crispy bacon or a little bit of sausage. I don't know, whatever you're feeding. Maybe you're feeding a family.
Would be nice.
Chorizo would be delicious. One of my favourites is to chop up the stems of asparagus, and you put those in when it's pretty much in the early stages, and then right at the end you throw in the rest of the asparagus and some peas.
Nice. Oh yeah, yum.
And that cooked, and of course Parmesan cheese, also, but you can use any cheese.
Peas is a really good one because most British people will have a bag of frozen peas in their freezer.
Good value.
So yes, what I mean, but also like good nutritional value as well, but also a way of doing the risotto.
Yeah. And they're a good vegetable actually. They are a good vegetable, and Charlie, they do hold a lot of fibre, and they're one of the best ones that work for us as a frozen vegetable.
Yeah,
they don't lose any of their picked and frozen. I think broad beans are similar. Frozen broad beans.
The other thing is that they don't lose any of their nutritional value, whether they've been frozen or not.
No, exactly.
So a fresh pea, great if you've got the time to chuck all the peas you possibly need. But actually, most people I've spoken to in cookbooks you read, frozen peas are absolutely fine.
Yeah.
They're not insisting on fresh peas.
No.
Because actually from a flavour perspective, sometimes I don't know. I mean, obviously a fresh pea is a different eat, but it's not, I wouldn't say it was massively better in terms of flavour and taste.
No, and they can be a bit tough.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they can.
There you go. Don't have fresh peas, tough.
So risottos and soups use up our chicken stocks that we're going to make, or any stock. You don't have to make it, but it just feels this time of year it's all back.
Well, it's quite, and also the smell's quite nice, and also it's simple. If you've had a long day, I always think things like chopping and stirring, you need no skill. You don't even have to think. If you're making a stock, you just chop a bit of an onion in half, just throw it in, pour some water on it, bring it to the boil, simmer it for, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Drain it,
done.
That's done.
You don't have to really think about it.
No.
And it's and the smell is nice, I think. But there we go.
And we know the bone broths are really good for you.
But again, it's that nutritional thing. So we are. But we go. Yeah, so we are.
Listen to us.
We are going into the winter darker months, but we are not going to be gloomy on our podcast. We are going to be talking about flavours, colours, different recipes we're going to try out. So I hope you've enjoyed our whistle-stop tour of 6 different apple varieties. I think it's been really good to try them.
Yeah, and I'd say look out for those fallers. People quite often steal by the side of the road sometimes. You're driving down lanes.
A bag of apples.
There'll be a bag of apples, and it's just worth it.
Just don't go apple bobbing. It's dangerous. Especially if there's an orphan near you. Anyway, on that note, again, thank you for listening as always. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Relish Lifestyle. Please subscribe and follow us. Obviously, we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Seems to be our most popular.
And all the other platforms actually as well.
I know, but those two, honestly, amazing. They're the only, when I look at the statistics, it's all Spotify and Apple.
Yeah.
Not many on others, but there we go.
Yeah.
We're there if you need us.
Yeah, we are.
So we're going to, I feel like a glass of wine.
Well, we're going to start cooking. Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
Did you do it? I've only just found this out that on the 24th of October, we'll have to do it next year. It's Global Champagne Day.
Oh no.
I know, for Champagne Charlie.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Maybe
Next year.
Open some now. No.
Next year.
Next year. I'll remember. That's in the diary already. Right. Well, it only leaves us to say, keep relishing life.